Hello everybody, welcome back. Jordan here. Today we're going to be addressing one of the most asked questions and also one of the most raised concerns that we get here in the Bricksie Lego room and on the Bricksie YouTube channel. And that involves space. Are we running out of space, and will we run out of space? And what is going to happen when we do in fact run out of space? Because let's face the facts, it's bound to happen with how many Lego sets are coming out that can be integrated onto the shelves or into the Lego City. One day, there are no questions about it, we will run out of space. So today I'm going to be providing you a little bit of insight on where we're going to be going short term and maybe what we plan on doing in the long term to maximize the amount of space in which we can display awesome Lego sets. Okay, so let's start with talking about some stuff in the Lego room. In particular, we're going to start with the Lego City. The Lego City has a massive amusement park. It looks like there's lots of open space in the amusement park because there is. Do we plan on reducing the size of it? No, we do not. Eventually, I will be working on this. I promise you that. And we will be filling the available space with minifigures, food stands, souvenir stands, character meet and greets, more Lego Creator Expert rides, and we will be doing that soon. The downtown core has a little bit of space open. Not much, not gonna lie. I do have a short-term solution though for that. We've got 2 base plates over there by the haunted house, and we also have another base plate right over here. Actually, I think it's 2 base plates on Pop Culture Street. Got some plans for those, as you already know. Going to be doing some shifting around here in the very, very, very near future, which is very exciting. But what are we going to do when we run out of space here in the downtown core? There's one solution that I see, and it's very obvious. We're going to be moving this factory. It is going to be leaving the city. The problem with the factory is it needs like a ring road that goes around the entire thing. So it takes up a lot of base plates. 2 base plates in the front here. It sits on 2 base plates, 2 base plates on the back, and then like 3 on either side. So it's like 3, 6, 9, 12 base plates. Of course, we need some road in there, but by removing this factory and replacing it with other modular style buildings, we're going to be able to fit a lot more cool looking stuff in the downtown core. So that is something short term that I would be willing to do to cram more cool buildings in there, such as one like this here. So that's what we're going to do in the downtown core and also the amusement park. We're going to just make it more detailed and make some small changes to display more buildings. Here we have a nice fancy tumbler. Beautiful. And we actually have some open base plates here in the residential area. So you've got one there. We're going to modularize Fort Privet Drive, I hope, and also the borough whenever we build that. And we have one other base plate right here as well. Now, there is a lot of road here, and we could definitely reduce the amount of road. Definitely, like, no problem there. We could, that's going to be easy. So if we will need more space in the residential area, that is our solution. Also, I would be willing to shelf these sets. We'll get to the shelves in one moment, but I would be willing to shelf the Simpsons sets. I don't know. I just think they're shelf worthy. Other than the Quickie Mart, I think the Quickie Mart's better scale than the Simpsons house. Now we have a huge open spot over here, which we've allocated to a farm and also a zoo. I know it looks big and I know it looks like a waste of space, but we have big plans for that and we will be doing it slowly over time. I personally love our beach, our ocean, Ninjago District, campground, and also under the table here we have our underwater area. That brings us to our next thing. So the underwater area right over here, no, not underwater, but the under table area is a recent expansion. It's got the train yard, and this is where I would potentially move the factory if and when we move the factory out of the Lego City. It's a disaster down here, ignore that please. That would be appreciated. And over here, we're gonna be doing our castle scene. So we've got some big plans for under here, and they're slowly gonna be developed over time, just like anything in a Lego room. And eventually I'd like to expand the under table scenes over here. So where all these sealed sets are, we could do some scenes there, and we could also do some scenes over here as well. So that's our plan in the short term for the Lego City and also the display space underneath the Lego City. Now, another thing that we could do in the Lego City is actually go topographical. And what do I mean by that? We could actually add another layer going upward. Oh, I really am not thinking of doing that, but it definitely is something that could be done. I think something that would be a little bit easier and a little bit more achievable would actually be to raise the train track like it used to be. The problem is we have this really cool Disney platform over here that sort of won't allow that. And I think by doing that, we would have to redo absolutely everything. And I don't think I'm ready for that change. So there's the Lego City. So now let's talk about the shelving. Actually, before we get to that, just note that in the downtown core here, there is a lot of road that could probably be reduced if we needed to. I just like how it spaces the buildings out. And yes, I know the amusement park is large. Eventually, it could be reduced if we truly wanted to. But I love amusement parks, and so does Jose. So I don't think I want to do that. I'm not on board for that. Boo to that idea. Anyways, over here we have the shelving. The shelving is looking absolutely fantastic. It's always growing and changing. We've got our brickhead displays, and we plan on building more of those so we can fill this top to bottom with brickheads. When you're looking at our shelving, you'll see a bunch of open spaces with sticky notes. That's for future expansion. Also, there's some available space on the bottom here where these boxes are. We do not need boxes down there. We can change that to really cool Lego sets, and that essentially stretches all the way along the bottom here. Also, on these large pack shelves, you'll see some open space. We can fill those with other newer sets as well. And if and when I get tired of certain sets, such as this cargo plane, or maybe this piano over here, I can sell them and use the funds from those sets to buy new sets, because we can sort of recycle them out of the collection. I only point out those two because those are the only two that I'm really looking to sell, potentially. I just don't know if I want to do it. Also, as you all know, I recently added these shelves here to the bulkhead. There's one there that's pretty much full. There's another one over here, which is essentially empty. And then there's actually a couple more bulkheads. There's that one there. More than a couple. There's that one there. The one on the far side over there, just above the Bricksie sign, or Bricksie wall, I should say. And then there's another one here. And in fact, I actually have the shelving right here ready to go for that. Now, there's also a bunch of open space here on these white walls for more art. And we could do something here as well. Oof, it's not liking that LED light there. There we go. But yeah, we have all this stuff here that we need to hang. And what we could do rather is utilize this giant wall space right here and put some shelves in so that we could put Lego sets there. I wouldn't be a huge fan of, putting shelving here because we're always hauling big boxes and stuff down here. So I could see that becoming a disaster. So that's all our short-term plans involving the current Lego room layout with the Lego City and also the shelving. What do we plan on doing long-term potentially? Let's get right to that, because that is a little bit scary and a scary thought that I don't really want to think about right now, but we may as well discuss it. I won't lie to you guys, if we run out of space, it'll sort of be an issue, and I don't really have any solid long-term plans because we're currently living in what I would call our permanent family home. This is the home where we would like to raise a family. We recently moved from our old house, which was smaller and had a smaller basement and had less bedrooms and stuff like that, to this house here, which can accommodate a family. So we recently did that within the last year or so. And I don't know if I'm really in the mood for doing that again. So that's why I want to explore everything that we can possibly do and be as creative as possible to fit as much Lego in this room without having to move. That is essential. But if and when the time comes that we run out of space down here, unfortunately, I might not be able to make that decision. Like, I might not be able to move, right? Like, you can't just move on a whim, right? There's lots of things that have to be thought about before you do that. Never say never, though. We might one day expand, right? To a place with a bigger basement. Actually, one thing I forgot to mention is the odd shape of this basement. Do you guys ever notice that? You see how it's like narrow here? There's like this big square right here, and then you go to the wide part of the basement where the main downtown is. Yeah, that's because our house actually has a tandem garage. So it's like a double long garage. So technically right there, boop, boop, is the garage. Yeah, it's not underground, but the pad for the garage is there. So there's no way for me to expand that way. But believe it or not, that was actually a hidden thing that I didn't know that I needed when we originally bought this house. Because typically, you would use your basement to stow away all of your excess stuff, whether it be like, you know, Christmas and Halloween decorations or kids stuff, or I don't know, just camping gear or whatever. Typically that stuff would go in the basement, but we have it all in our garage. So thank goodness we have that 3-car garage technically, because I would have used this entire basement for Lego and then we would have nowhere to put that stuff. So that was actually one thing that we never knew that we needed in this current house. But ultimately in the end, if and when we run out of space, I see 3 options. Sell some Lego, use the funds from that Lego to buy new Lego. Option number 1. And that's, of course, once this space is maximized and there's nowhere to go. You like, Lego, Lego, Lego. When it's like that, then that's what you're going to have to do. Or that's what I'm going to have to do, is sell some Lego. Option number 2, buy another house or a bigger house, or move, essentially, to a house with a bigger basement. And I don't know if that'll be financially feasible when that time comes. So that's if and or maybe. Option number 3 is actually go off-site. Have a warehouse or some sort of space in which Bricksie rents and operate the Bricksie YouTube channel and the Lego City and display all the Lego off-site. There's some security implications that I'm not too sure about that. Also, there's some commitment sort of, things that you have to commit to do that I'm not really sure how that would work. But those are the 3 options that we have once we maximize the space in this room. How long will it take to maximize the space in this room? I simply have no idea. I guess we'll find out as we move forward. Everybody, that's my thoughts. Let me know what you think by commenting below. Remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Peace out.